Hello, Teacher Kim here. So I've been asked the question, how do I manage noise in the classroom? Now, in my personal classroom space, I try to ensure there is no noise. I try to make sure my children are quiet. I usually teach when they are asleep. If they are up, they know that they are not to talk or to bother mommy. So in my own home, it's easy to control. My kids are very respectful and they understand there are rules. But what about in the classroom? I can't control other students. So what do I do? Well, if it's one-on-one and it's just a background noise, maybe they have a fan blowing straight into the microphone, maybe they have somebody crying, a dog barking, a rooster crowing. I've had that before. When that happens, most of the time I just ignore it. If it's not bothering the student and I can still hear the student, I'll ignore it if it's just one-on-one. If it is bothersome, I will either tell the student that, hey, can you go to a quieter area? It's kind of hard to hear you. Or if they are low level, I will contact IT and say, there's a noise. Can you translate and tell them to go to a quiet area? That's fairly simple. But what do you do if you have more than one student? Okay, well, there's a couple options. With lower level students, you can always mute their microphones. I try not to mute them very often. I prefer just to have both talking, but if it is a very bothersome noise, whether it's a fan making that sound constantly into there and it's bothering another student, or whatever reason, I will mute their microphones just when I'm talking or when the other student's talking. Now, when it is their turn to speak, I'll turn it on. I want them to talk with me. If it is a higher level student, I will say, I'm going to mute your microphone so that both students or all of the students can hear as well. Now, many times if a student knows they're in a noisy area, they'll mute their microphone on their own. But what do you do if there's a mute battle? If you keep hitting the mute button and they keep unmuting immediately, whether they're lower level or they're just a child, they don't understand. Again, the best recourse is always to contact IT and ask IT to please let them know that the noise is bothersome, that we need the mic muted, and usually IT is very, very helpful. I have not had them not be helpful. They will encourage us and the client to mute their microphone when they're not talking, and that works out best for everyone. When I want their attention, if they're muting their own microphone, I will say their name. Sally, can you answer this, or can you read this question for me? Read this part for me. And it's generally worked well. If you are respectful of your clients, of your students, of the people you're working with, they're respectful to you. If you express to them and explain to them why you're doing what you're doing, why are you muting them, why are you asking them to mute themselves, they generally are very helpful and understand. If you have a client that for whatever reason does not understand, again, we have the resource of IT. PMIT are wonderful and they will help you if you need help. So don't be afraid to reach out to them if there's a problem. But if you can, handle it within your classroom. Try to fix the situation as best you can. It may be as simple as I said, asking them to step to another room, to a quieter room, or muting their microphone, or asking them to mute it. It could be as more complicated as asking for help. Whichever way it is, do what needs to be done so that all of the clients involved, everyone has the best learning experience possible. Well, I hope this little tip has helped you. There are plenty more tips coming your way, and I will see you next time. Bye!